No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Now, ABC 6 News at 11 on your side.
If we can continue to destigmatize mental health issues, get folks proper care, and fill gaps in the background check system, then we can spare more families the pain of losing a loved one to suicide.
The president making his plan for gun control in the U.S. As part of it, the federal government will provide more funding for mental health treatment. And while advocates are happy more money could be coming their way, they are concerned about the flaws in the plan. Rob Wells is looking into that tonight. Rob?
Yeah, Yolanda, experts say that for too long there's been a stigma between mental illness and gun violence in the United States. Now they hope that today's move by the president will soon change all that.
People with serious mental illness should not be correlated with people who are violent, because statistics show only 3 to 5% of violent acts are committed by people with a serious mental illness.
Kenton Beachy hopes the president's executive order on gun control will shed new light on what he stressed for years.
People with serious mental illnesses are 10 times more likely to be the victims of violent crimes than the general population.
Part of the president's plan to keep guns out of the wrong hands includes $500 million for access for mental health care. Right now, there are state barriers that need to be changed. They often limit information that can be reported about people's mental health issues.
That it wouldn't expose people who wouldn't otherwise have been prevented from being on the registry. It just opens up the opportunity for more people who should be included in that registry to be able to be reported.
The Social Security Administration is also part of the plan. It will be allowed to make rules when it comes to reporting relevant information on background checks for those who shouldn't own a firearm because of specific mental health reasons. And Mental Health America's headquarters sent me a statement about today's ruling and decision today by the president. They say that anyone who thinks that a diagnosis of mental illness should be a reason to deny people from owning a firearm are, quote, what they consider to be off track. Bob, let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Rob. Well, we're talking about the impact of shooting attacks in the U.S. The president wiped away tears, speaking about what he calls his saddest day in office, the slaughter of 20 first graders and 6 adults in the Sandy Hook school shooting.
Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
So now, as part of his new plan, there will be expanded background checks on firearm sales. There will also be more funding for the FBI and ATF. As you can imagine, this topic has created quite a conversation online. We asked if you thought the new plan would prevent future mass shootings. Hundreds of people commented on the ABC6 Facebook page, and among them, Jim says if only one life is saved by President Obama's executive action, then his decision was the right one, especially if it's a relative of yours. If an error has to be made, then error on the side of caution. I applaud President Obama's action. Melissa says it's a start. My question is, what else shall we do? Nothing? Or how about we just keep praying this issue will resolve itself? Mike asks, has the current law prevented any mass shooting? No. Maybe they need to look into what is driving people to do these shootings. And Brenda writes, Dear Mr. Obama, I would like to register my gun. Said no criminal ever. You can add your vote and your comments on the ABC6 Facebook page tonight.
More gunfire on the streets of Columbus tonight. It has officers spread across 2 scenes just a few blocks apart. It started on East 23rd near Cleveland Avenue in Linden and ended at Duxbury. Detectives tell us some people were in a car arguing with people outside of a home. Both sides started shooting. One person in each group was hit. The car was found a few blocks over on Duxbury. Everyone is expected to survive. So far, no one has been arrested.
New at 11, the Netflix documentary Making a Murderer is the hottest new show on television.
It's about Steve Avery, a Wisconsin man who was falsely convicted of sexual assault and spent 18 years in prison for it. He's then convicted of murder.
Well, viewers are taking to social media now to get him out of prison. Ben Garbrick, you found that this going to the top isn't the right play here?
Yeah, Bob, I promise we won't spoil the entire show. I haven't been able to finish the series yet myself, but hundreds of thousands of people are petitioning the president, but there's not much even he can do.
Making a Murderer is the latest binge-worthy show on Netflix.
Nearly 300,000 people have signed a petition for President Obama to free Steve Avery. Some of you told us on Twitter about how you signed it. Bob Petrakis teaches constitutional law at Columbus State.
I understand they're very emotional, and probably that petition was made to order with the best of intention.
But he has some bad news about that petition.
The president has no authority whatsoever to pardon someone for a state crime.
If you look at the Department of Justice's website, it's their top frequently asked question on its pardon page. But there is something fans of the show can ask the president to do.
You could have him use the Department of Justice to investigate the local police or sheriff's department, whoever was involved, to see if there were violations of federal rights.
The only person who could free Avery is Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. The petition includes him. But earlier Tuesday night, the governor may have dashed any hope Avery will be released.
Just because a documentary on TV says something doesn't mean that that's actually what the evidence shows. The bottom line is that there's a crime that was committed a decade ago. I'm not going to override a system that's already put in place.
At last check, there are about 285,000 online signatures for that petition. If it hits 300,000, the White House will have to respond. Their response will probably be pretty short. Yolanda?
All right, thank you, Ben. And then there were 9. 2 more Buckeyes are saying goodbye to their college careers and hello to the NFL draft. Wide receiver Mike Thomas says he's ready to go pro. Von Bell is giving up his senior season to join his other teammates. And with 9 players now declared, that's the most ever in school history at Ohio State. We'll see what happens at the April 28th draft in Chicago.
All right, now only a few hundred customers remain without gas service in New Albany, but it's been a chilly day for about 1,000 there. It started early this morning, about 8 o'clock. Columbia Gas tweeting that 805 customers had it back on by 10 tonight. The company said preliminary reports show there was an issue of getting gas into the system there. Crews are going door to door trying to fix the problem. It takes about a half an hour per house. And if you still don't have it, leave your porch lights on to let them know that someone is home.
All right, we got some news for you tonight. Westside drivers are going to see crews out tomorrow night. ODOT is demolishing part of the I-70 bridge over 270. So take a look here. The ramps in this red circle here, they're going to be closed overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. Now on Thursday night, you won't be able to take 270 south under 70. You're going to be okay going this way, but coming this way, you're going to have a problem. So you're going to have to just go up and come down. There we go. Yep, come down that way, and then you're going to have to come. There we go. Come down that way. Now, this is only overnight and should be wrapped up by the morning rush hour. And again, you're going to have to go all the way to the Hilliard-Rome exit, get back on 70 and go the other direction. So that's going to be a little inconvenient, but it won't last long. So that is the good news in this. Bob?
All right, thanks, Joe. State trooper is on desk duty after being accused of punching his son. Court documents say that Trooper Timothy Sanko was drunk at home in Delaware County. The troopers say he challenged his son to a fight and punched him in the nose. Sanko is charged with domestic violence and disorderly conduct. Now, the patrol says he could face discipline, and that includes being fired. They'll decide what to do with Sanko after the criminal case plays out.
Once the battery gets stuck in the esophagus, the clock is ticking.
The warning is out again for parents to watch out for those little button batteries we use in so many things. A 2-year-old girl died in Oklahoma, and a doctor here at Nationwide Children's Hospital is once again warning of the dangers. He's on a national task force working to raise awareness of button batteries.
Even the products in your home that have been there for years, inspect the devices, look to ensure that the battery is in a secure compartment or child-resistant compartment.
The doctor says if you didn't see your child swallow a battery, you might think that he or she is coming down with a cold or virus. He says most of the time an X-ray is needed to confirm it. The task force has seen some success, for instance, changes in battery packaging and also warning labels, but there's still a long way to go, according to the doctor. Now, family's desperate attempt to save their baby just stopped breathing.
I mean, I was more scared than anything. I really thought I lost my baby.
After the break, how the quick action of 2 officers saved the life of this days-old baby.
Plus, it wasn't a smash enough to stay in Columbus. Why Smashburger is deciding to give Columbus another try.
And a thief targets mailboxes in a West Columbus neighborhood, but he ended up doing a lot more damage than anything he stole.
And good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Bill Kelly. Check out our time lapse today. Hard to tell it's even running other than looking at the cars down there on Dublin Road. A beautiful day with lots of sunshine. We should see another one tomorrow, but chilly. We'll talk about that coming up in just a minute.
And just in Always On, Youth Build Columbus Community School is closed tomorrow.
Never miss a second of Good Day Columbus. Tomorrow, see what we cook up in our quest to learn something new.